Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel.
I'm Shruti.
And I'm Dre. And together we are Beauty and Beard.
So today we're watching Death Note.
Today we jump back into season 1, episode 3 of Death Note, D-Links. Let's get it going.
Let's do it.
Greetings to all of you at the ICU.
Got played.
I am M. Whether the guilty party is an individual or a group.
What you're doing right now is evil.
You bastard.
Now, try to kill me.
I am justice. What the hell is going on? Kira, I will hunt you down wherever you're hiding and I will eliminate you. I am
Justice.
justice.
Up to this point, we've received 3,029 responses about the murders via telephone and email. Most of these have been curious citizens and prank calls, but there are 14 people who claim to either know Kira or who have seen him. And lastly, this week there were an additional 21 people who called in claiming to be Kira. So we followed standard procedure and created files for all 21 of them.
All right, on to the victim reports.
We have confirmed that information of the heart attack victims was in fact publicly available in Japan immediately prior to their deaths. We found that all of them occurred between the hours of 4 p.m. and 2 a.m. on weekdays, local time, with 68% of them occurring between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. Exception
That's
to
the
this rule,
student.
as the times of death vary much more widely than during the week.
That information is extremely relevant for us. Our suspect could very well be a student. I think it's safe to assume that he's driven by a very idealistic notion of justice. It's highly possible he may even aspire to be some sort of godlike figure. We're dealing with an individual who has a very childish concept of right and wrong. We must consider every possibility. I believe that is the shortest route to finding and arresting Kira. Please continue with your report.
Does anyone else say something
Yo,
they
this
like
is sick.
Yes, sir.
that? What is it, Matsuda?
But especially here in Japan, we've observed a dramatic decrease in the number of violent crimes committed.
Anything else?
No.
Well, that about sums up our report for today. Elle?
I would like you to go back and take a closer look at the exact way in which the victims' identities were made public. Be as thorough as possible.
In particular, I want to know if photos of the victims were made available to the public in Japan.
I'll leave it to you.
This guy's catching on quick.
About what I said earlier at our meeting. Well, now that I think about it, I'm sure everyone already knew that. I wanted to apologize.
What on earth are you talking about? If you'd gone on to say that we should commend Kira for doing such a great job of reducing violent crime, then yes, I might have had a little problem with that.
Oh, no. No, I wouldn't. That would never happen.
I'm just kidding.
So, do you think you're ready to try a few on your own now?
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, sounds like Dad's home.
Welcome home, dear.
We didn't meet Dad yet.
Nah, babe.
Helping your sister with
Is
her
that the
homework, you
police
sure are
fucking-
relaxed. Of course. If the police try to come after me, I'm pretty confident
He's
I've
home
got something
early
that'll give me
today.
the advantage.
You're so right. You
Hey,
nailed
glad you
it.
could join us for dinner. You hungry, Dad?
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Your fucking son's the killer, bruh.
Tell me, how are your studies going?
Everything's okay, I guess.
Whatever, he's at the top of his class. My big brother's a genius.
He's also at the top of the list Dad's chasing too.
Right?
I see. Well, Daddy's a policeman. And that must be the reason why you're so confident. We're on a home network, so I can copy the files I need without leaving a trace. This way I can keep track of their investigation. Here we go.
Wow. Jesus.
Well, isn't that interesting? Looks like the police are already beginning to suspect a student. I guess that means you're in trouble. After writing the cause of death, details of the death should be written in the next 6 minutes and 40 seconds. So what's your point? In other words, if I write heart attack as the cause of death, then I should be able to write down all the details, including time of death afterwards, shouldn't I? Looks like I'll be able to provide you with more entertainment.
He could plan each murder.
I'm confused.
Break the pattern. Killed during his school hours.
148, what's wrong?
That's pretty genius. That's pretty fucking genius. But as soon as he made the change, as soon as he started to see, so he knows that you know about the investigation now.
That's true.
Yo, this
That
is a sick fucking battle.
What?
Oh my god.
I don't believe this. He's killing one off every hour on the hour.
Considering that this new pattern has been going on for 2 weekdays,
it does punch some holes in the theory that our suspect is a student.
Ask yourselves, why every hour? And why are all these victims in prisons where they are sure to be discovered immediately? Not only can he kill from a distance, but he can also determine the time of death.
Wow.
As soon as we began to suspect that Kira might be a student,
the
pacing of the killings changed, as if to contradict that theory. Coincidence? Kira has access to police information.
There we go.
It's obvious now. This is a direct challenge to me.
I'd say Elle is probably starting to sweat a little by now. Oh? If Elle's as good as they say, by now he should be starting to suspect someone with connections to the police.
So Kira has found a way to obtain information from the task force headquarters.
There's one thing I don't get. Showing them you have connections to the police makes it easier for them to find you than when they just suspected you were a student.
That's right.
Well, my real agenda is, what's especially important is that Elle and the investigators don't trust each other at all. Think about it. Could you trust someone whose name and face you don't even know? On the surface, it will appear that Elle and the investigation team are working together to try to catch me. But in reality, Elle will investigate the police, and they will be investigating Elle. And when they do, that's when I'll eliminate him.
with all due respect, Chief, we're resigning. We demand that you assign us to a different case. Otherwise, you can have our badges right here and now. It's because we value our lives, sir.
If what Elle says is true, Kira has some ESP-like power that somehow allows him to kill people indirectly. Let's face it, he knows he'll be sentenced to death if he's caught.
We all sat here and watched when Elle decided to pull that media stunt specifically to determine whether photos of the victims were available to the public prior to their deaths. Well, it turns out he was right. Every single one of those victims' names and photos were broadcast to the Japanese public, and then they died. We're out there investigating this case wearing police IDs with our names and photos on them. Anybody with a computer can find out who we are. We don't hide our faces, we're out in the open. For these reasons, we refuse to continue working this case. Excuse us, Chief.
Hey, stop! All of you!
That's sound logical reasoning too.
It was indeed.
Before we tackle more complex quadratic equations, we have to start thinking of large x. Now, let's apply this concept to our first problem.
Who's that?
We brought the FBI to Japan 4 days ago.
And this is the complete list?
Yes.
There are 141 people in the police force who have access to classified information regarding the investigation.
I already told you, Ryuk. You can't talk to me in public. How many times do I have to tell you?
In that case, I'll talk, you just listen.
Exactly. For your purposes, for sure.
I have to stick around till the death note is finished, or I see you die, whichever comes first.
Wow.
But make no mistake, Light, I'm not on your side or Elle's side. But as your roommate, I might have a few things to say now and then.
What's this about, Ryuk? Why are you telling me all this stuff now anyway? Get to the point already.
Somebody's onto you.
You're being followed by another human. He's watching you right now. I realize there's no way he can see me. But because I'm always following behind you wherever you go, I feel like I'm constantly being watched.
Who would be following me? Does this mean Elle is already starting to suspect the police? If he's gonna investigate the police, I shouldn't look like anything other than your average high school senior. But the longer I let this person keep following me, the greater the chances they'll figure out who I really am.
Needs to know his face too.
In on a little secret.
Needs to know his
What
face
makes
too.
a Shinigami and a human who has a death note different? Well, there are two things.
You know, you sure are talkative today.
It's because we are able to take human lifespans for ourselves. Let's say you have a human who is due to live until the age of 60, and a god of death wrote that this person would die at 40. Now those 20 years taken from someone in the human world are added to that god of death's life.
Wow.
On the other hand, no matter how many names you write in your death note, your lifespan will not increase.
Pretty interesting stuff.
The second difference between us will probably be of even greater interest to you. Though this has less to do with lengthening life and more to do with cutting it short. Shinigami can tell what a person's name is by just looking at their face. We know instantly. And do you have any idea why? We see their lifespan as well.
Their name and lifespan?
That's right. Wow. I'm able to see your name and lifespan right now. I may have a big mouth, but even I wouldn't go that far.
That's wild.
Our eyes just aren't the same, and that is the difference between you and I.
Wow.
However, he can grant that human the eyes of a Shinigami, but only if a deal is made, one that's been with us since ancient times. It's half of that person's remaining lifespan. That's all it is.
Half of my remaining lifespan.
If it was 1 more year, then 6 months.
I see. And since you've made it clear you're not on anyone's side, and won't help me out, you wouldn't just give me the names of people I wanted to kill.
I'll say this once more. Give me half your remaining lifespan, and I'll give you the Shinigami eyes. What'll it be, Light? Is it a deal?
Take away lives. What's it gonna be?
Yo, man, I think that's Kira.
I think so too.
But how would he know?
How so quick? I guess he went straight to the sergeant, straight to the...
I wonder if Kira, I wonder if L, because the death note's been going on for a while, like he investigated or found somebody who actually had a death note before, and his circumstances are kind of the same. It's where he I don't know, he found out the information about one guy and he died too fast or something, but he's aware of the circumstances, because why would he never ever show his face, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or say his name, because then you could look up his face, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it could be that, or it just could be they created a perfect character to add to the ambiguous anonymity that's needed to survive in a death note. Because now with the Shinigami eye, babe, this guy is unstoppable.
That's it.
So now he found out he could schedule his you know what I'm saying, his death sentences.
Mm-hmm.
He could schedule his fucking death sentences, and now he doesn't even need he doesn't need any information provided from any other news source other than his eyeballs to eliminate a suspect. Or
oh my goodness.
Now the thing is, I don't see. Okay, so you help me out here. How does that help him? Because okay, I see how it helps him in this one situation where if he turns around and he sees that guy, he can kill him, the person who's following him. But every other person that he is murdering, he is not aware of by sight. He's aware of by information through news outlets. So he would still be killing the people in jail. And the thing is, the people outside, he would have to know that they have committed a crime, which means he'd have to be familiar with them first, aka knowing their name and their face already. So I guess it only helps him really with
like
Kira.
Spontaneous events,
So
also like the raping, the girl getting raped outside and shit too. He knew that guy. That's the only reason why he was able to get him killed.
Yeah, exactly. He knew that guy's name and thing. But that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. So that in a situation like with the rape, he would have been able to do it without hesitation. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
He could become a good the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and just stop crime as it's happening also, you know, but like No. He's
too
far
that.
gone. Exactly.
He's beyond that. He wants to eradicate, and he wants a world that will be like he's the bouncer at the club, and ain't nobody getting out with his approval. And the thing is, regardless if he wants good or thing people, like the way he's going about it is a bit contrived because like the guy said, he's thinking about it in more of a childish fashion, whereas there's people who commit crimes who are not necessarily criminals, you know what I'm saying? Like we saw that video, that woman Cyntoia Brown,
oh
and
my
you know what I'm saying? Like she did murder somebody,
killed her captor,
but she killed, you know what I'm saying? Captor, raped, all this shit for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, did she really commit a murder? No, she actually did the more heroic thing. She survived exactly. But the thing is, she went to jail as a murderer. So in this guy's eyes, he would have put her name on a death note because he pulled up her file and he sees murder. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, like he said, there's a bit more of a context to it when you in a story like hers, you know what I'm saying? And Kira figured out he has a childlike way of thinking about it because it's right or it's wrong. There's no gray area, you know what I'm saying? Like
there's not much more thought put into it. Exactly.
That's it. Like somebody who shoots a school shooter still murdered somebody, but they also prevented 45 other deaths. You know what I'm saying? So, but when they're sentenced, it says homicide, manslaughter, whatever the case may be. So it was really interesting how he was able to decipher that his level of naivete added to the list of, kind of contoured the list of criminals that he was taking out, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then because of the fact that the first person that he took out, it was a lesser crime, you could tell that he was just like, let me see if I could use this guy because, hey, it's a throwaway. If I kill him, it's good. If I don't kill him, at least I know that, you know what I'm saying? I know the extent of my powers. Wow.
This is progressing really fast.
Oh my God.
Yeah. 3rd episode in and...
3rd episode in, that's the thing. And so when I hear the feverish desire for the people on YouTube and the people on Patreon for us to have started the Death Note, like, and I'm like, man, it's only 37 episodes, you know, seeing that like there are seasons of TV shows that are longer than this. For example, One Piece season 1, 60 how much episodes?
Yeah.
And it's a classic, and you see that they didn't waste any time. I mean, episode 2 was unbelievable. Episode 3, it was another great chess move, but episode 2, like they got right to the fucking, you know what I'm saying? They got right to the cream, bro. That's like literally rose right to the top. That shit was crazy. But I love it. I love this chess game back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And only thing we have to do now is get on to the next move. So, thank y'all for joining us for this latest episode of Death Note.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button and get ready for the video.
Let us know what you thought about the episode down in the comments. And be sure to go over to our Patreon and check out our full-length uncut reactions or simply support our channel.
I'm Trudy.
And I'm Drake. For Beauty and the Beard, we're signing off until the next one. Peace.